Yeah, we're up around 10 kilopascals. We actually have some atmosphere in our upstairs area. And then one thing we can do to just make this go, well, significantly faster, and so I don't die of hunger, is just open this door and let forth the torrent of air out of our base. Hello, everyone. I'm Level 36, and welcome back to Stationeers. We are still building our upstairs area. I got this little wire run. This set of shutters works now, our ceiling shutters. It's awesome, and I love them so much. These are truly epic, and you can't convince me otherwise. I am going to play with these for hours and just open and close them, because this is all I want out of a space game is just window shutters. My favorite mod for Space Engineers, the Shutters mod. Rip in peace. I know it doesn't work under the contract update, but and I miss it already. But yeah, I love these. I love them so much, and they're awesome. And I'm gonna put them everywhere. No, not really. I'm not gonna rip out my existing windows because that would mean I have to depressurize the base for like the 16th time, which I don't want to do. But speaking of pressurizing things, also these ones work great too. It's so awesome. I love it so much. But yeah, speaking of pressurizing things, might actually put one there. I kind of think that wall looks a little dead without a window. Hmm. Yeah. We have the chance now because the goal of today is to guess what? Pressurize the base. I think I still have two. Yeah, I have three of them. So yeah, the objective for now is to get this upstairs area pressurized. And I was thinking this was going to be kind of difficult, but honestly, thinking about it a little bit more, this will probably be one of the easier areas that we have pressurized. To pressurize. Yeah, because honestly, this area up here, to pressurize it, being realistic here, all I actually need to do is open the door into the elevator shaft, and this area will pressurize itself as long as it's sealed. Now, that's not a long-term solution, and obviously, if we do want to have any distinct atmosphere in this room, for instance, like if we want a higher CO2 amount, then we'll have to deal with that individually. But so we are gonna make like a full feature gas system, or not gas. We're gonna plumb our atmosphere gases upstairs. So we're gonna have active vents in both this room and the bedroom. Now, I was kind of thinking about how I want to do this. I think in the last episode, if you were paying attention, you saw that I printed up a absolute ton of pipes. And the goal was to potentially run pipes all the way up behind the elevator to this tile right here, which would obviously allow me to pressurize this room and to pressurize that room, just with a little, like, quick through-the-wall pipe kind of deal. We could do that, or we could come up from our airlock system. So this is a return line, this is a supply line. All we would need to do would be to just... Oh, pants. You want to see some wind turbines go absolutely whack? They spinning. This is going to make things a little bit more difficult. But yes, what I was saying is we could go up from the airlock, where we have it pass through, like right here, run out and up. And that would leave us right to our little bathroom area, but we could go along the ceiling and drop down. And I honestly don't know which one I like better. Because, like, aesthetically, I kind of am for both. I printed a bunch of insulated pipes in case I wanted to do that. I figured I'd get ready for it. But I kind of feel like both are good solutions. So if we go with the solution of going up behind the elevator, because we're going to need 3 or more lines. We're going to need a water and a gas supply and gas return. Well, do we need the return? Yes, we do want the return, because there's going to be, we need to, yeah, we're going to want the return. So we need a water line. Luckily, there's no head lift in this game, so we don't have to worry about, like, trying to... And yes, our airlock fix worked from last episode. Yay! Trying to, like, add boost pumps to lift our water, like, from all the way down here to all the way up there. But essentially, what we would be doing is we would just take these lines here, run them out and behind the elevator. So they would come up. I'd have to move this cabinet. They'd come up right there. Go through that block there. So that's fine. We can deconstruct that without much fear. Go up. And then go straight through there and into the upstairs. Now we can do this either by leaving this wall tile welded up, and that won't breach our atmosphere, or we can just use the elevator shaft to link the atmosphere out there, because we can just put those 3 last walls in, pop this door open, and then suddenly all of my air from down there will come up here. Ideally, I don't want to do that super, even though it wouldn't really, like, hurt anything per se. Just because there's going to be a lot of CO2, but, like, CO2 is part of our atmosphere anyway, and there's pollutant in our atmosphere now as well. Just because of, you know, breathing and a little bit finding its way in, and we should set up a filter just to, like, filter it out anyway. So, yeah, I don't really know. Let's check to see how our O2 filtering is going. Oh, we're down to 0.6% nitrogen in our O2 supply lines, so we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. Oh, that's a trash filter. Storm is kind of putting a damper on progress. I think I do like the behind the elevator solution, just because it'll add some visual interest in our manufacturing floor. It brings it to a nice and central location, whereas if we went on the outside, we'd have to, like, run all of it through the bedroom, which might not work super well. So yeah, we'll do that, and we can do that while it's storming out. So I'll just need a bunch of pipes. So the thought process is we're going to have, like, supply Well, we can tuck those pretty close up there. There is a power conduit up here, so we have to remember that we can't hug that like super close, but we can make that transition in that block. So if we do this, we just have that, then we have like our water pipes. We could do that, or we could bump them out by one. Then they sit pretty far out. Yeah, I think I like this. Let's just make sure our elevator still works. Yeah, it's still perfectly happy like that. So I think this is what we'll do. So that means we also are going to need to plumb these into our various lines. And if we need to, we can also run like a CO2 and N2 line up, which I might need to run individual lines for eventually. So, as far as our flooring goes... Oh, is the storm over already? Well, that was quick. We just pop this up. Take a risk here. I have my suit on just in case. I think, as long as I'm thinking about this correctly, there's just some gas that's required to fill that space, but we're not going to actually, like, lose anything. Yeah, it seems I was correct. I know there's a size of room that once you reach, like, it doesn't consider it a room anymore. It's just like, well, this has to just be the world. So, all of your stuff will just float off into the abyss. But I'm glad to see we have not reached that size yet. That's one. We could also, actually, now that we have this open, make this just a service shaft. Like, it goes all the way up and down through the base. But you can have all the plumbing. But I don't want to. We do have to figure out, however, how we are going to get it over there. We can run the water pipe along the ceiling here. I already have our supply line there. We need get water over there, and then we also need to get our return line. Gonna get cramped down here. Alright, so we've got water plumbed in. We need to just plumb in our turn. So that's our return line, right? I think. Probably. Yes, it should be, because this is our supply. Oh, I forgot I had more pipes. Those all end up there. I don't think we can go through this computer, which is unfortunate, but honestly, we do not require that computer anymore. Geez, that thing sounds unhappy. You can honestly just turn it off. We haven't recycled anything in a minute. Both oxygen filters died? Oh wait, no, those are the ones I tossed in there. That makes more sense now. Like, I don't think anything's been filtering. I do love how complex, like, routing things in this game can get. It does just fill me with the slightest bit of joy. Sorter motherboard, toss that. Screwdriver, deconstruct you. And drill. Get gone. Toss in corner. Wire cutters. Go. All back in working order. Hopefully that sorter wasn't required, that motherboard wasn't required to, like, actually still control those sorters. I don't think it was, but we should set it back up somewhere else. Just, you know, just to, because it makes sense to still have it, even if we don't technically super require it anywhere. We'll set it up like a little server over here, just with the old style computer. If we were really smart, we'd stick it in there with it. That's fine. If I have to reset all those filters, I am going to be upset, because that was probably the most painful part of this whole thing. Yeah, it's fine. Toss those into the abyss. And let's go get some more plumbing. I do hope everyone's having a great day. Oh, fell him down. Alright. There we go, and this is the return. We do have to remember which one's which, because we don't want to, like, set up all our stuff to pull from the return and send back to the supply line. And there, like 2 pipes shy. Glad I made so many. This is where this one might get a little bit hairy, because I know there is some cabling, like, right above that. But we shall deal with that when we need to, which is not right now. So now we need to fix the floor. So those are now connected. Why is this thing here still? Is this still, like, broken from the original? Oh, yeah, it's still 2% damaged. The original blow-up. Thought I got all those, but I guess I missed a couple. From a one-gas cylinder, almost took out this entire playthrough. Oh, that's sticking through. Those are a little deeper. Let's see if we can put my locker back down here. Not that we super needed it, but it does not appear that we can. How unfortunate. And however, stick it here. Or we could save it for use upstairs, in terms of what we might actually do with it. So if my theory is correct, and it should be, if I popped the frame from above this, we will not lose all of our atmosphere. But just in case it's not, we're going to be ready in case it does. So I want to take some preventative steps by closing off the other areas of the base. Also, while we're here, we should just grab some water. Now, I am only running one water line upstairs, and there is going to be a certain amount of dirty water that is produced up there, and honestly, I'm probably maybe going to just bottle it and take it downstairs in a can to get rid of. Because I don't think there's going to be that much of it. I don't think there's going to be enough to warrant running an entire another long pipe back down. Or I could just treat it up there and then provide it into the network. Which might be the better way of doing it. Anyway, did I forget to post it down there? Yep. I don't know why I'm so worried about this. I know these walls are airtight. It shouldn't be an issue, but I'm paranoid, okay? I've repressurized this space like 3 times after blowing it up several times. I don't want to have to do it again. We shouldn't need anything else for now, because once we get this sorted, we are going to seal ourselves in up there, suck out all of the air, the bad, dirty air, then start pumping in that fresh, good, clean air. Don't need to check anything else. I know everything else is fine. Okay. Let's grab some more plumbing. We don't need all this other stuff for now. Flat walls. These large vents certainly are faster than the normal active vent. This would take so much longer if it's just a normal active vent, and I kind of wish I would have went with the, like, large vents, just to be slightly faster. Alright, this is the spot right here. It's the moment of truth. Yeah, we're fine. I knew we would be this whole time. I never had a doubt in my mind. You can't prove anything. So the concern is now, yeah, that does not play nicely. So we will have to connect this even, reroute that slightly. That is okay. I think we should be able to still hook that up. Let's just put a straight line. So that is going up there. Atmospherics wise, these should be fine to just come straight up. Or not. That's less than ideal. I guess the hitbox on this is just ever so slightly longer because of this like middle bulged out section. Utmost of care here. That's ever so slightly annoying because that means these are going to be like one tile out from the wall when they come up from down below. It's going to be in the wall, so like if it's ugly, it's fine, but stop being difficult. Maybe we will round out this little area and make it an atmospherics storage closet. I'm just a bit annoyed now. Alright, now let's get this one going. Okay. That is now all of that hooked up. So in theory, we should be able to seal this off without issue now. Just need our active vents real quick. They've been a little premature to put like all of the walls up. Let's just make sure we can connect that water line, because I don't want to like get screwed over by that. Let's also continue charging our airlock cylinder to make this like slightly faster. So if we hover up here, grab our I think that's connected. Alright, we should be good. Let's go pressurize the upstairs. I wonder if it's getting slower to depressurize because there's so much. It's having to pressurize another canister. That's like. I feel like it is. Maybe I'm hallucinating that a little bit, but I feel like that's something they actually did simulate, which is kind of crazy. We can come get the rest of this stuff because we will need it. It's just later. Let's get this pressurized. So we're going to lock ourselves in. We've got our flat walls here. This is going to just be the large panel variant because I want some visual interest. Then our steel sheets. Finish those off. This now should, let's use our tablet to confirm, this is a room. It's indeed a room. This is room 90. This is room 44. 94. Room 76. Room 64. All of these have glass. Well, I guess the easy way to find out, actually, is just to pull a vacuum. Because that is the surefire way of finding out our room is indeed a room. Let's grab our active vents. We're going to want to do some plumbing in here, but just for now, we'll do that. Let's just remember which line is the return. That is the return line. Grab some wire and our wire cutters. I feel like I should move that wire onto this circuit, but there's nothing better than what you already have close by. You've never change this again, most likely. Right. Turn on. Set inwards. We seem to be pulling a vacuum. Seems that we are, and it definitely, these doors do not prevent gas from transferring through them. That's kind of what I was testing there. So yeah, we're drawing down a vacuum. I'm mostly doing this just to get rid of all of those nasty pollutants. But it's going to take it a minute, so I might not actually go through with it all the way. Although 0.6, although yeah, I'll just let it pull itself down to a vacuum, and I'll catch you when it's done. All right. Looks like we are getting rather close. This took very little time. It's almost like there was very little to pump out and well, a lot less space than I thought there was, I guess. I'm so used to dealing with the entire base at once, which kind of takes a long time to reduce the pressure of. But yeah, it seems to be working fine. That's around the last millimoles of CO2, which I'm not worried about really, and it would just be kind of pedantic to let it get totally down to zero pressure, and I'm not stalling at all to be pedantic about that and to let it get down to zero pressure. That's totally not the reason I haven't turned on the pressure side of this at all. I don't know what you mean. Come on, it's the last. Oh, yeah, there's another decimal point there. It's the last little bit. We are almost there.
Hunger caution.
I'm gonna starve myself to death instead of doing this sensibly.
Air tank low.
Okay. There's enough things yelling at me now. So we turn off that active vent, and we turn on this active vent, and now we introduce atmosphere. It's going to take it a bit to get everywhere. I think as well, we have a little bit of buffer in that line, but I bet it just ate, all of that buffer. Yeah, we're down to 4 kPa in the feed line. Yeah, we're up around 10 kilopascals. We actually have some atmosphere in our upstairs area. And then one thing we can do to just make this go, well, significantly faster, and so I don't die of hunger, is just open this door and let forth the torrent of air out of our base. This will kind of tank the pressure downstairs a pretty decent amount, but I'm not that worried about it because we have so much more volume down there. As I say, as I tank the pressure down to 50 kPa. It's fine. I'm sure it'll be alright. It didn't take hours and hours and hours to get enough gas processed to make everything 100 kPa. But if we open my mask now, I only get a little bit of an oxygen warning. And we have our upstairs area pressurized. That was a lot faster than our downstairs areas. Hey, going down the elevator, we still have some decent pressure down here. And especially if we open up that room, then we'll let a whole bunch more in. If we open up downstairs, it'll be alright. Yeah, if we come over to our atmospheres tank, I'm pretty sure this is still going to have a couple megapascals in it. It's just taking its sweet time to get through the system. So instead of waiting, we'll just... Now that's already open, we can just pop that on. That will now push much more atmosphere through the line. It'd go a long way to refilling everything up to its full 100 kPa. Awesome. We'll cycle the airlock real quick. And while we have my suit on, swap our air tank. Check to see if we have fully processed all the nitrogen. Of course we have not, because it's going to get harder to process the closer we get to processing it all, I'm pretty sure. And that sound, like, travels. Sounds like it's coming from, like, all the way over here, even though I know it's actually coming from way the heck in here. Yes. What was I thinking I need? Oh, I need to, like, eat food and take my suit off. So I don't need to be wearing that inside anymore. So now we get to do some interior decorating. Little bits of fun. Oops. Thought I had a little more disk space than that on my recording drive, but apparently I didn't, so I ran out of disk space. A bit scuffed, but that's okay. Survive. But yes, damaged, this one. Soon we won't have to deal with damaged potatoes. We can keep our food fresh forever. Soon we won't have to just eat potatoes. We have so many potato seeds. Helps that each potato also counts as a potato seed, so you can just never use seeds if you don't want to. It's nice. Is this empty now? Yeah. Pop you off. Let that just go and do its thing. Plenty of pressure in the system to keep filling it up. And I think we're almost at our pressure goal anyway. So, what do we need to do to decorate this place? Well, as I was saying earlier, we are having some issues keeping the base cool, so I wanted to add a cooling system to the upstairs anyway, and we can put a bunch of this stuff that we don't super need anymore way down here. We are going to need some liquid pipes. We are going to need some more gas pipes, maybe a little bit more heavy coil. We definitely need some regular cable coil. We don't have much of that. Power. Some more regular cable coil. Water bottle filler. And filtration. So as far as this goes, I think today we're going to focus on in here. And then next episode we can get into our agricultural area. So this right now is also powering all of that. We wanted a active vent specifically to pressurize this room. So we are going to install one. Be just up in the corner up here. Additionally, we want our shower back. Finally, a shower. We're probably gonna have to run our plumbing on the outside of the base to feed this. I don't know what I need to complete it. Probably like I don't actually know what the powered shower does, or like why I want a powered version of this. But I have one. It's still just got the regular plumbing. So, as I said, I don't really get it. I'm not going to pretend I do, but it's an option. I guess it's a logic-controlled shower, but then why does it have a switch? I don't know. But solely because we can, we shall. But then I think we are going to perhaps reprocess the water on the other side, because we're going to be creating biomass over there, so it wouldn't be that difficult to get some charcoal produced. And then we can kind of refilter the water. So we'll have to run a pipe, maybe somehow, out of this area to reprocess that, or we'll just stick a bottle on the wall, and that'll be my, like, bottle of dirty water. Additionally, big improvement here, and I didn't even make it yet, because I wanted to make this on camera. We finally get a bed. I need 50 of them, but I need one. It's in a multiplayer world, after all. We finally get to bed. Yeah, I don't know how Stationeers multiplayer is actually doing. I remember that it was a little rough for a while. Not gonna lie, I think it was a bit borked. But maybe it's improved. So yeah, our two options are either the block bed, which is the very, like, built into the wall kind of bed, or a single bed. So I think we're going to set a bed on the wall and just sleep up right now. There's a lot of rotation options for something that should really only have... I rotate it every way but the way I want to. Is that what you're actually telling me right now? I can put it on any available upright surface, but I have to orient it one of these two ways. I can't. Stationeers really. Fine then. Why is that a thing? Why can I not? Why is there every other rotation option but the one I want? Even less for this one. I literally have to put it this way. That's gotta be a bug. Oh well. We'll put it like this, because this is the only way we can put it. We have a bed. And lay down. In a bed. Amazing. We need some light. Okay. I've found the bed teleporting glitch. We can teleport through the wall using the bed. And it's consistent. I don't think my mic picked up my screams, but yes, we can now teleport through our walls using a bed. simply because I cannot place the bed the way I want to. It's just... I get that it's still under development. I really do. I can appreciate that. But I guess we're going to have to build a sleeper instead. But I think these have gotten some more love. We could go with the vertical variant, but I think we're going to go with this laying down variant. Okay. In fact, we're going to go all the way downstairs. Just so I can feed this to the grinder for how disappointed it's made me. Let's see. Let's make sure we print the right one. Or I think I'll just come from the sleeper. Is it a hydraulic pipe bender? And you're locked up because I haven't fixed that script yet. Boop. One, please. That ruined that big achievement a little bit. I was so excited. I was like, "Oh, we're gonna get myself a bed finally, and it's just gonna be a normal bed because this is a pressurized space, and I don't need to worry about like providing it an atmosphere or anything." But instead, we get only disappointment and sadness. It disappoints me. Hopefully, in the next update, we'll get a proper bed. Let's also, while we're here, print something else that probably won't work the right way. But I wanted a cryotube. Not that it's also terribly useful to me in this playthrough, because it's just me, and I can't exactly drag my corpse to the cryotube myself. But it looks cool, and that's enough for me. Unless we don't have enough... Oh, we don't have any silver. I think this might be the only thing that actually requires silver. In that case, never mind. I don't care enough. Build it some other time. Alright. This is going to present its own difficulties, because we need to plumb it in. While I could go with the vertical version to save space, that doesn't feel right. So we are going to go for the horizontal sleeper. Gonna have to kind of figure it out as far as how to get it placed in here with the cables on the floor. And that looks good there. What do we need to build you? Plastic sheets, we didn't bring any of those up with us. Let's just drop some of this other gear on the other side. Atmospherics, active vent, plumbing, other plumbing. This our water bottle filler. Way is the right way. You on the wall here. Maybe on the wall over here. That probably makes sense. Grab some plastic sheets. Welding torch. Flash sheets. Probably should have just looked at the construction phases. But that would be too unlike me to think that far ahead. Where is our glass sheets? I think it's out in the airlock still. Oops. Need that. Alright. Now we need to provide it with a atmosphere, which we can do by just crowbarring this wall open so that I can see where I'm actually putting things. Then crowbarring this wall open as well. So if we wrench from this line, over to there. That plumbed in. That's going to be slightly annoying. We need the data connection for this, really? I don't terribly think so. It's weird to me that you can put cables in the tool slot, but you can't put pipes. Oh, we can still hook up the data. Turn that on. Put all that down. Let's see.
Cognition low.
Can we actually get to sleep? Oh, yeah, okay, we're just sleeping. We're not passed out. Oh. But anyway, with that, I hope you've enjoyed. We got a little bit of interior decorating done. It's not entirely finished yet, but I wanted to get the sleeper built and get the upstairs pressurized. And I think, I don't know, I have an exact number now, but this is about an hour long. So if you have enjoyed, please leave a like and a subscribe. And leave a comment if you have some suggestions for what we can do with the space up here, what you'd like to see from our agricultural setup. I think we might take another pass at running a LAR arm, maybe. I don't know. I kind of got upset with the last one we did. But it would certainly be a more efficient way of running our farm. And I need to put a pressure regulator on this sleeper, as I'm realizing my external pressure regulator is going up to like 217 kPa, which is a little more than my guy's probably supposed to be rolling with. But I'll get to that next time. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next week.